our defendant, our client, if we do decide to defend him. 19th February, local prison, cell 9. So these are the British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels like a dungeon. Oops, I burped. And yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruto. You're making it seem worse. Well, if they did the crime, might as well. Why should they live in luxury, honestly? Apparently, our client is in this cell here, but it's so dark. At at the back there, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like.
You may 53! Your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once!
Okay.
Am I a cat? As yet, with no name? Call me by a number? It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonably, I refuse the answer!
I'm so sorry. Mrs. Naruto, what? I said this is my favorite case. I'm going all in this case. What do you think is going on here? I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese.
What the fuck?
Oh shit, he can go through that hole! He can! Honestly, if it were me, I feel like I could escape from through that small hole, honestly. You see? Excuse me, but...
Shh! Quiet! They're all around, hiding! I know they are! They're watching, listening, even now, I can sense it. Huh? Who are you?
Alright, so could I ask you?
There you are! You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it! You're a ghost!
A ghost? I'm backing away from the microphone as much as I can so I can do that voice. I'm so sorry. So I won't, like, damage people's ears. Holy shit. We mean you no harm, Prisoner-san. Prisoner-san, are you Japanese by any chance? No, apparently he's not.
Oh, yeah. Huh? Oh, yeah, I am. This is beyond my wildest dreams!
Hi. Who's your name?
Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. We're just a little surprised, that's all.
Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumentally moving moment!
I love this character. He's not my favorite, but I love doing the voice for him. Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese?
Oh, what compassion my fellow countrymen show. To dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, Nenapelli, Nippon!
A first-class lawyer? Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what's happened? Why you been detained as a suspect, for example?
Yes, I can, I will! Stay sullen and silent!
I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he's actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunuske Naruhodo. That's not my real name, by the way. I'm just letting you know. Some people will be like, "Oh my God, he is." No, I am not. That's not my name. And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotaba.
I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably, notoriously, name Natsume, Sosuke Natsume.
I fell down that one. Hold on. Can we? Oh, we can examine and we can present. We're gonna present instead. Here, look at this armband.
Yes, the symbol of one of our great empire's first-rate lawyers.
Oh, that's why he thinks that.
Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. You'll defend me.
No, sorry, that wasn't why I was showing it to you.
Huh? Then why else would you show me that?
In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea. Alright, now then, let's talk to you, the Sosuke Natsume. By the way, if you haven't made a comparison, yes, it's that Natsume. The iconic Natsume, who says, the moon looks beautiful, doesn't it? That kind of Natsume. Sosuke Natsume-san, what an unusual name.
Call me Sosuke, please.
I call you Natsume instead.
I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku.
I wonder what he's referencing, what character he's referenced as.
It's something of a nom de plume.
A nom de plume? You mean an alias?
Yep.
That's right, Naruhodo-san.
No! Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that.
And haiku, that really reminds me of home? Did I just say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study in English. First, I had to suffer that misery, and now this! It's beyond the pale!
Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here?
No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course.
Oh.
But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it. No!
What do you mean by that? I mean, yes, you're right about the government. Just because it tells us to do something doesn't mean we should. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable.
I would assume that when he says that, he's saying it in English. And when he goes talking with Ryunuske and Susato, they're talking in Japanese. And then he goes to outbursts like that he's going to English. I see. That's what I think, in my opinion. In my head canon.
Only the other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on whitewashing!
You must be a man of great standing.
Oh yes, so I'm often told.
And often like to be told, it seems. So, the accusation against you, Sasuke. Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Sasuke-san?
I didn't do it! I didn't commit that atrocious murder!
Murder?
Oh, no. It's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes!
Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker?
I didn't see anyone, no. I'm sorry.
What?
If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here?
Oh dear, it seems that the case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusable, irritatingly inconvenient.
So Sosuke-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. It's vital that we find out more about the case. Alright, tell me more, Sosuke, about the case. What were you doing? What's your perspective? What was the average day of Sosuke Natsume? I feel like that time. Shut up, Ricky.
It was an accused evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accused lodgings.
Sure, the bookshop was an accursed too.
As I was walking along the accused pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of the stone at my feet. Oh, he's like, oh!
How terrible!
I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish graveyard.
Slight exaggeration there, perhaps.
I was terrified. I had to get away from here.
Man, how did she know? I want to know, why? How did she pass out from that, honestly? It kind of doesn't seem like it went really. It kind of looked like the coat blocked most of the damage, honestly, but oh well.
So I ran as fast as my legs could carry me back to my accused lodgings.
No, sorry, that's not good.
They'll say it was it was shameful, I know, to run away like that.
Tell me, Sosuke-san, was the victim of an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous! Do you think I know any of the fair-haired English? And a young woman at that? I'm different, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to women! I mean people!
I see. A young woman unknown to Sosuke-san. At the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anyone pass you?
Regrettably, apart from from myself, the woman, I didn't see a soul.
No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else in the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? What conundrum? Yeah, what kind of conundrum you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, Suzawa-san? What's the conundrum? Well, if what Sosuke-san has told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen.
I did.
But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit.
Oh, you! What did you just say?
Nothing! I didn't say anything! Oh, perhaps I was just... Oh, perhaps that thought was a little too loudly, I guess. Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Sosuke-san actually come to be arrested? Sorry? He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place? Oh yes, she's right.
It was him. That accused great detective. He led to the police to me. Above all the bad luck,
Accursed. Great detective. Could it be?
I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his haunting laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Rush, big head, busybody, be gone! May you be a curse until the end of your days, Lord Jones!
I knew it. And he's here too. I can't wait to see him. Mr. Sholmes. All right. Sherlock Sholmes, what do you have to say about it? About him? We have a hater here. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure.
It was a morning other than ever have unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a silver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst through the door. They started shouting at me, "This is the police! Put the weapon down!" Yes, it was a thin silver and it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting dietary discrimination knows!
You clearly had a trying morning yesterday.
And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat, or whatever they say. That's Sherlock Sholmes!
It's actually Sherlock Sholmes. Get it right, Sherlock Sholmes, remember like that. He's English. Surprisingly not German.
I've since found out that he's a famous great name in detection here in London.
And a celebrity, apparently. Yes, the great detective is really very well known.
And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently.
And apparently Susata-san kind of looks like, yep, he did it. I believe Sherlock Sholmes. Sherlock Sholmes got the right one.
He thinks I'm a knife-wielding madman, me! This weak, stooped kitten of a man!
I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That's kind of bullshit, not gonna lie. How the hell did he know that? That would be really most unreasonable. Okay, well,
the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in.
Okay, of course you were. Of course you were. That's only natural.
I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. In Greenish, foreign, flammery.
I'm sorry, my voice. I'm getting tired now. Oh god. I'm really getting tired. Come on, Ricky. You can do it. Just one more question, that's it. Well, we are in England. We can't really blame them for questioning you in English.
Good point. But my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, "Yes, I do," and "I'm fine." The next thing I knew, I was in manacles. And before I knew it, I was thrown in here.
Oh dear. I'm afraid that's hardly surprising. I'm fine. He's not fine now. Alright, we've got everything settled.
Mr. Naruto Esquire.
Oh, you can just call me Mr. Naruto. And when we're speaking English, a simple Mister is more than enough.
Oh yes, alright, yes, they've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind.
What do you mean by that?
But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you?
Well, I mean, you know, maybe not.
Why? Why is it hard to say yes to me?
Well, the thing is, I'm just doing like yourself on a study tour.
Oh, a student.
And I have defended a case in the Old Bailey, only the one though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to be leaving. I'm confused about the justice in this country even means. Oh, Naruhodo-san. I'm not even a foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm a sort of locum lawyer, I suppose.
But that armband, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire.
It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend.
A keepsake? Oh. I know exactly what they're saying about me.
Oh, what do you mean?
The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me.
Goodness, why? Why do you say that?
For the same reason as you noted before, when it happened. There was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit.
It must be very hard for you, Sosuke-san.
And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a poor nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot, without my compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said. And of course, the foreigner did it. They even had a guard to say, the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway.
That's awful!
They're wrong! I study more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets! I traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So, at the very least, I like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue.
Oh crap. So, Ryunuske, you gotta defend him. You really gotta defend him.
You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through.
Sosuke-san, it's just that... Come on, Ryunuske. Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can. For the time being.
What do you mean?
We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure.
Oh yes. Thank you. I'll be here all alone waiting for you, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
We should be going then, Miss Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for. I did not say yes, apparently. Which is bullshit. Ryunuske should have said yes. Come on, I would have said yes. Compared to him and freaking McGilded, I trust him more than fucking McGilded. And I know he didn't do it. I know this guy did not do it. Like, come on. Alright, we're gonna go to Ryo Road now, so let's go investigate a scene of crime. Hell yeah, brother. 19th February, Ryo Road. So this is where it happened. Ryo Road. Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm looking. Look at the regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of the Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. Oh shit, I almost burped. Actually, I did burp. What the hell am I saying? I almost burped. I burped. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one of with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but I never tripped I ever come to this close. To a real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Of course. I have to try one on on one day. I should try one on one day. Okay, try one on one day. That's what you meant, brah. Wording. Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true. Ryunuske been. He's been. Oh, it's him. All right. What's this Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson. I can't tell what's hard for me to do. Sosuke's voice or his voice? This is an notorious trend, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware. Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the Holiness House then? What do you make of the criminal? He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect. We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The blokes in court tomorrow, whatever happens. And the verdict's a foregone conclusion. The stone cold air of rejection. Take heart, London. Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air. Yeah. That makes it worse somehow. Alright, I'll tell you everything. Before you do so, you might as well look around, right? Yeah, look around before you can talk to me, because I need to rest my voice, alright? Oh, that's a Sculling Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to the crime scene and cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London. You know, it's only for criminals, right? Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then. But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. No, I wasn't serious. Hell no, we need you, Susato. Hell, fuck no. We need you. We need you. You're the only reason why we're doing so good in court. What a delightful snowman. I didn't realize that English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though. Oh, it has a scarred leg. You need one if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his. But the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know, you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't be much to warm my neck, wouldn't it? It's covered in snow. Yeah, that's why it's already cold. You would be extra cold with that. I wonder what these guys are thinking, what they're doing. That's one of the officers of Scotland Yard. The officers are making sure that the crime scene is undisputed. I can't read. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. We've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Huh, that was the beginning of the game. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's a wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. It really doesn't. You have that wide-eyed look the whole time. The hell is this pollution in the air? What the fuck? The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? And with a dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. Well, it is known as Foggy London Town. I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built, though. What the fuck was that? Yes! That must be the Crystal Tower being built, and the great exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Apparently it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides, and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. Ah, it's to be the largest exposition in history, is it? I can't even begin to imagine it. And it's probably nothing important. It's like we're probably not gonna even experience it in this game, so why even bother? It's rather to go old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. It kind of does look like it's tilting over, huh? Now that I think about it, it kind of does. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. Yeah. But why is the windows bricked? What the fuck is this? Oh, look at the windows of the building there. Are you sure they're windows? Well, yeah, but they're all filled in with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at that moment. There's smoke coming through the chimneys, though. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. Yeah, well, yeah, even me, because I'm not even Nipponese either, so I'm just American. So, I don't know why they have windows like this. Oh, a British bicycle, says look. Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be rewritten anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement in change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. No, I mean, it's not like I dislike them exactly. It's just any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. And if you ever tried walking on the stilts and falling into a river, I know you'd agree with me. We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. Aww, how sweet. Ryunuske, what the fuck? Why can't you just ride on it? Ride on the motorcycle, what the fuck? Motorcycle, bicycle, I mean. Do you see all the black smoke rising from the chimneys over there? It says here that the Great Britain many people heat their homes in winter usually using coal. The only chimneys I really remember seeing in Japan were on top of the bathhouse. Do you think that some of those houses could be on fire? Not at all. Well, even so, that much thick smoke ballooning up to the heavens is surely going to give the whole sky black sooner or later. And it's called pollution, and it's a real thing. People don't think... Some people from the government believe that that doesn't exist, but they are idiots. Gosh, you may be right about that. I mean, we on their defense, apparently. They're like, but we're still breathing and we're still fine, so it shouldn't really bother us. Fuck you, mate. It will happen in due time. Anyways, Scotland Yard. Tell me about the Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated about the place. By the place, okay.
The Yard is the most sophisticated police organization you'll find anywhere in the world, Mom.
Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet. It does make them look the part, seeing the policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense of that this is a man who will take no nonsense on his duty of protecting the city. Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
Being a London Bobby is a hard going, I can tell you.
Oh really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and ruses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work.
What? He wakes up people?
Yep, grabs on their windows, but with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit.
I had no idea.
Now Bobby works with the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance.
Wow. Our policemen could never compete with this. Holy shit. They're too lazy driving around now. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things to step... On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far.
And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps.
Oh my! And I suppose in between all those duties, Bombies are expected to investigate cases as well. And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time to admit.
I feel bad for them. But hopefully it gets better in the future, right? I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruto. What? Your heavy heart will be heavy head if you do. Like, he's like, I don't want to do the work, so I would have to have you do the dream. Ryunuske, fuck you. You can still wear it. It doesn't mean you have to do the job, per se. So come on. Alright, about the case. So,
it happened around 5 in the evening. 2 days ago. Just there, on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind.
Is that right? Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital.
I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty much, we won't be able to find out much about her at all.
Wait, you say it's a her, and Sosuke Natsume says it's a her. But why can't you tell it's a her? What? Is it because it's babe? They're fat shaming, are they?
They look too plump to tell, so I can't really tell.
I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course.
Here's a map of the local area. I happen to have it on me. You can take it if you want.
Really? Are you sure?
It's a yard police policy to give lawyers of any suspects the odd bit of information to go on.
I haven't actually accepted a job yet, but still. Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. The local man has been added to the court record, a street map of a local area showing where the victim was found. Oh, okay.
Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. So who did it, do you think? Not much just of a head scratcher, is it?
Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean he can be sure that nobody else was present.
I'm sorry to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed.
It what?
We have two very reliable witnesses, no less.
And here we were thinking from the intro, no one was around. What kind of bullshit is this? Like, yes, people were around.
It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them.
There were witnesses now. Witnesses? Let's see about that. Who are these witnesses, Inspector?
A fellow and his wife. The man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard.
Yeah, this is not gonna go well. A policeman? That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment of the young woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, Mom. But part of and parcel of being a Bobby, catching them bang in the act and all that.
They were fucking? What? Bang?
What?
And do you think it might be possible for us to ask the policeman in a few questions?
Be my guest. You can ask him what you like in court tomorrow.
Oh,
I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to.
that's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector.
What?
The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that was Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
Oh crap, you found out. What are you bringing him up for? I hate him.
Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. Oh great, okay, we're gonna go to tomorrow's trial now.
That witchy Japanese bloke goes on our trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not?
Well, you know, no. I don't know.
Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole.
Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean?
There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though.
Sorry?
The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones.
Master criminals? The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims, only deals with the guaranteed to go to the gallows for the sin.
But Mr. Natsumi wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely.
That's just my point, sunshine.
Ah, he said it! My favorite line! Alright.
Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase.
Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
No, there's got to be more to it. For some reason, he's taking an interest. I mean.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You think I'm a mind reader? No. You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
Are we really gonna have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it. Maybe. Who knows?
Alright, I'll tell you something about this Sherlock Holmes. I hate him. I hate him with a passion. Who did he hear the name from?
Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsumi who mentioned it. He said that the Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered the lodgings. I'm sure it was a result of the Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions.
Fiddle faddle!
The man's an amateur. The man's an amateur. I'm more like that, okay. And I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh? I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime. Wanders around, spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite outstanding, isn't he? He is a great help in Scotland Yard, though, isn't he? Gamble, gamble! Ever seen this before? Ever seen this before? Oh yes, the Rancid magazine. The wonderful publication of which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees it fit to include several of the Yard detectives in the stories. And the so-called Great Detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all. Well, I suppose there is an element of that. We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be thumped by the public thanks to the obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals. That can't really be true, can it, Inspector? Clearly, the Great Detective and the police have a complex relationship. Da-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da! I like my theme. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion? Oh, yes, what is it? Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this. You mean Sherlock Holmes? By him, you mean Mr. Holmes? Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, exactly. And I love this theme too! Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsumi did blame Mr. Holmes for all of this, didn't he? Sure, yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party of the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet Mr. Holmes again. No. The trouble is, we have no idea where the man's address is. It's Baker Street. Huh? How do you know that? It's in the stories, of course. He doxes himself? Why did he dox himself? What the fuck? 221B Baker Street. The most famous address in the world. Oh, I see. And it is a reference to the Sherlock Holmes series, too. Because he does live at 221B Baker Street. Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Mr. Sato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable. Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage! So we're to have a reunion already. Where did he go, by the way? He was still in the same boat as we were. So what happened? What the fuck am I getting notifications? Okay, with a great detective for Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Alright, it's time to move it. And a new area has gone up. So Sherlock Holmes, sweet.